More likely than not, those limitations are going to be your biggest problem and hurdle when pairing these belt packs.
You need to always hook up the power supply to this SPL. If you're trying to pair more than 5 belt packs,
is clear out any old pairings it may have had. Now it's time to actually pair a belt pack. The first way I'm going to show you how to do this is the wireless way.
Remember to like and subscribe.
how's it going? My name is John Clark, and in this video, I'm going to break down how to pair Freespeak belt packs with a Freespeak station. So this is still the #1 call I get in the kind of house call, tech call that I receive to help with. So I wanted to make this video to just demystify that and make it very simple for anybody. Even if you've been doing it for a while, I promise you'll probably pick up something new. I've broken this video down into several modules. I got them written down here because I'm not smart enough to just remember that off the top of my head. The first thing we're going to go over is the limitations of the base station and how that can affect pairing a belt pack. The second thing is going to be our transceiver ecosystem. So that's going to entail different types of transceivers, how many transceivers you have, how you've hooked them up, because that is all going to affect your ability to pair a belt pack with the base station. Then, once we go over all those limitations and kind of best practices, we're going to actually do the pairing. And there's a couple different ways to do that. Wirelessly, over the air, and with the wire. We're going to cover that. At the end of it all, I'm going to give you my final thoughts. So let's jump right into it, and let's first start with the limitations of the base station and how that can affect you. The first thing we need to check is our base station, and we need to see if that has the appropriate license. Maybe you have 5 belt packs paired, and you know you have all your other transceivers hooked up and that your ecosystem is intact, but for some reason you can only pair 5. Well, that might be the base station license. A lot of the base stations by default come with only a 5 belt license, and then you need to upgrade them to a 25 belt license. So let's jump in there so you can see that. And here is our Freespeak base station panel. If I go menu, administration, license, and I go over here, I can see that this system is a 25 belt license system. That's the maximum amount of belt packs you can pair to one Freespeak 2 base station. Now, this may say features 5 belt packs. If that's the case, then that's where your limitation exists, and you can't pair more than 5 to this base station until you upgrade it to 25. In this case, it has the 25 on there, but that's something to start for and look for. Now that I've covered some of the licensing restrictions with the base station, let's talk about transceivers. Transceivers generally come in 2 types, 2 flavors we'll call it. This is a 1.9G transceiver with a pairing limitation of 5 belt packs. You may also see one that has a little bit different coloration right here, and that's a 2.5G transceiver, and you can only pair 4 to it.
Maybe there is a device conflict. You're trying to pair a 1.9 belt pack to a 2.4 gigahertz transceiver, or a 2.4 belt pack to a 1.9 transceiver. One hurdle you may have is maybe you only have 1 transceiver and you're trying to pair 6 belt packs. Well, you've reached a physical limitation to what the system can handle. Your answer to that would be add another transceiver. Now with 2, you can pair 10 belt packs to your Freespeak 2 system. Now, if you have the other types, which I just showed you, but I'll show you the picture again, for the 2.5G transceiver, that has a limitation of 4. So if you're trying to pair 5 belt packs to it, that's why you're getting stopped at 4 and you can't do 5, because once again, you've hit a physical limitation. Now, if you have 10 belt packs and you're trying to pair 11 to them, what you're going to need is a ClearCom SPL. This is a transceiver splitter. This mechanism allows you to hook up up to 5 transceivers to your Freespeak 2 base station. You need to always hook up the power supply to this SPL. Now, it can provide PoE power to your transceivers, no problem, but this device itself needs to be powered, and its power supply looks like this. What happens is this could also be powered over PoE, but it starts to decay and power is very intermittent. When this is being powered over PoE and it's also powering these over PoE, and none of these devices have been hooked up to a power supply, you'll start getting really spotty hits. Belt packs will try to resync to other transceivers. Just always hook up your power supply to the SPL5. So there's a couple different reasons for choosing how many transceivers you want to use. First and foremost, how many belt packs are you hooking up? As we just discussed, if you are hooking up 5, you have a limitation of 5 with a 1.9 G transceiver. If you are hooking up 4, you could do that with a 2.5 if that's that system. I can tell you from personal experience, most systems in the US are going to be 1.9. Another good reason is kind of doing a site survey and seeing the optimum position for your transceivers. And to do that, you need to run a site survey. So I made another video on that. If you want to watch it, you're interested in it, it is right there. So to recap that, if you're trying to pair more than 5 belt packs, you need at least 2 transceivers in place if they're 1.9 or 2.5. If you are trying to pair more than 4 of 2.5, then you also need 2. And if you're trying to pair more than 10 belt packs in the 1.9 range, you're going to need a SPL5 splitter and a minimum of 3 transceivers for that. So basic math would be, if you're trying to pair, think of it in groups of 5 in the 1.9 range, up to 25, you would need a transceiver per every 5. If you are pairing in the 2.5 range, you need a transceiver for every 4. That's the physical limitations based on the equipment that you have. If that hasn't solved your problem, if that's all right and you know that is all correct and you're still fighting it, let's move next. Let's actually pair some belt packs and see how that's done, and I'll give you a couple tips around the way. Thank you. The first thing I like to do before I pair a belt pack to a base station is clear out any old pairings it may have had, because this could create another hurdle for me to pairing to a new system that it hasn't been paired to yet. So Freespeak belt packs can have been paired to multiple base stations in the past, and they can have fixed assigned roles. So if you want to just clear that all out and start from scratch, I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Okay, so here's a belt pack, and if you hold down the menu button, you get to this menu. You want to scroll down to System Connect, press D, and we'll delete current system, yes. And you're going to see 3 letters. V is virtual, C is connect, and when it's in pair mode, you'll see a P in the middle. Now this is the system that it's currently connected to. You may have opened up a rental and you'll see a bunch of different systems in here. What we want to do is delete this pairing. Now it's time to actually pair a belt pack. The first way I'm going to show you how to do this is the wireless way, and this is called over the air, or abbreviated as OTA. So from the front panel, I'm going to hit menu. I'm going to scroll to admin, belt packs, over the air. And the last button on the key set is start OTA over the air. Now once I press that, I have 2 minutes to pair belt packs before I have to press that button again. OTA can be accessed from the front panel where I just showed you. It can also be accessed from the CCM ClearComm Control web-based GUI, and that can be clicked right here. So when you turn it on, it may look like this right away, or it will say searching ... You want to hold menu down till this populates and scroll to System Connect. D is kind of like the enter button. Now if you see, it just says virtual, and that's because we haven't hit OTA yet. So menu on the base station. Admin, belt pack, over the air, start OTA. Now, when I look at this belt pack, a P will appear, and the P is letting you know that it is in pair mode. We hit enter, and now it's going to ask for a code. Now, by default, unless somebody else has changed it, the code is 0, and I got to do this 2 hands.
0. It's all zeros. 0. 0.
It'll show you the list of available roles, and by default it'll say FS Freespeak Belt Pack 1 through 25. Select one of those and press D to enter. Now that's how you pair a belt pack to the base station wirelessly. If you've done all the things that I just showed you, if you cleared out the old systems, if it went into pair mode, it showed the virtual, it showed the pair, but it wouldn't give you the connect, then you need to reference all of the limitations that I've showed you before. Are you at a transceiver limitation? Are you at a license limitation? And go from there. So next I'm going to show you how to pair this using a USB cable. Super easy. I have a standard USB-A micro cable, just like any other kind of cell phone cable you would expect to have. That is plugged in. I'm going to take this end and I'm going to plug it into the bottom of a Freespeak pack. Now here's the bottom of a Freespeak pack, and here's my USB micro cable, and I'm going to plug that in, and if you look at the front, it immediately connects itself and brings you back to that same role select menu. Using the USB cable connection method, super easy, super straightforward, and again, if you connect it with a USB cable and it doesn't just populate and boot up like that, refer back to those earlier limitations in this video. More likely than not, those limitations are going to be your biggest problem and hurdle when pairing these belt packs. In conclusion, I hope you found this video useful. Even if you're a legacy user of ClearCom products, maybe and hopefully you found some nugget of information in here that was new to you. Remember, if you're having trouble pairing belt packs, if it's not working over the air, try it with the cable. If it doesn't immediately populate, go into the menu and delete the old pairings like I showed you. Just wipe it out, clear all of them out, and start from scratch. If it's still not doing that and still not giving you an option to pair, refer back to the earlier limitations that we discussed. Maybe there's a license limitation. Maybe there is a device conflict. You're trying to pair a 1.9 belt pack to a 2.4 gigahertz transceiver, or a 2.4 belt pack to a 1.9 transceiver. That could be a limitation. Maybe you're trying to pair 6 belt packs and you only have one 1.9 transceiver. Maybe you're trying to pair 5 belt packs and you only have one 2.4 transceiver. Maybe you're trying to pair 11 belt packs and you only have 2 transceivers. In all of these scenarios that I've just mentioned, the answer is you're at a transceiver limitation and you need to add more transceivers. If the transceivers are in place and you know you have enough, then maybe you're not getting power to your SPL and you are losing connection to the transceivers. Another one, again, is the limitation to licensing on the base station. If this is powered, if you have plenty of transceivers out there. If they're all within the same band, if these are 1.9 and these are 1.9, you've crossed all those T's and still not, then maybe you're at a licensing restriction. Maybe you only have a license for 5 and you can't go past that number. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful, and if you feel like it, like and subscribe. That kind of helps me out. Have a great day. Happy mixing and rock on.
Remember to like and subscribe.